Call this meeting to order. It's the March 10th, 2015 Buckeye Board of Education meeting. It is 7:10. And roll call, please. Oh, yes, we do have to. Excuse me. So I guess we'll go back to coming out of executive session. Thank you very much. I have a motion to exit executive session.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Siselic, yes. Mattson,
Yes.
Pitek,
Yes.
Stahl,
Yes.
Parko.
Yes. Okay, and now we'll move into our regular meeting. It's regular meeting, March 10th, 2015, and it is 7:11. Roll call, please.
Mattson,
Yes.
Pitek,
Yes.
Stahl,
Here.
Parko,
Here.
Siselic, here.
And the Pledge of Allegiance. Flag is behind. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting is a meeting of the Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. There is time for public participation during the meeting as indicated in the agenda. Approval of the minutes. Resolved that the Buckeye Board of Education approve the minutes of the regular meeting of February 10th, 2015. Entertain a motion?
Motion.
Mr. Deck, is there a second? Mr. Stahl? Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Pitek,
Yes.
Stahl,
Yes.
Parko,
Yes.
Mattson,
Yes.
Siselic, yes.
Recommendation statement. Following are recommendations that have been identified for approval as part of the consent agenda for this meeting. If the board member wishes to remove any items from this agenda for further discussion prior to taking action, please let either the superintendent or board president know. Anyone have anything tonight?
No.
Approval of the consent agenda. Resolved that the Buckeye Board of Education approve the consent agenda of March 10th, 2015 as presented. Is there a motion?
Motion.
So,
Second.
any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Stahl,
Yes.
Parko,
Yes.
Siselic, yes. Mattson,
Yes.
Pitek.
Yes.
Superintendent's special guest.
Thank you. I'd like to welcome everybody here this evening. Thank you for coming. I would like to invite our students of the month to please come forward. And actually, we'll have you line up on this side to your left. So if you could join your principal to the left here, and we'll bring our students of the month up. And we'll have you come right in front of the table here so we can get you on camera.
Good evening and welcome. I have two students of Buckeye High School that I would like to present to you tonight. The first I have is Ian Dalton. Ian is ranked 33rd out of 155 students. He has a 3.667 GPA. He's a member of the National Honor Society Art Club, 4-H now for 10 years. Big Brothers Big Sisters, volunteers at United Way. And this past weekend, he was top 25 district governor's art show for technology animation. Ian is going to attend Shawnee University and major in game and simulation art. Ian Dalton. Second, I have Rachel Roush. Rachel is ranked 5th out of 155 students. She has a 4.398 GPA. She is post-secondary full-time. She volunteers at the Brunswick Bookshelf. She's a freshman mentor, member of Project Care, earned a 30 on her ACT. applied to Kent, Akron, Cleveland State, and Baldwin Wallace, and also is planning on majoring in library science. Great job.
Good evening. I have with me here is Grace Krut. Grace, besides being a great student at Buckeye Junior High, she is an 8th grader, and she's Buckeye Junior High Student of the Month. As her team says, she is a wonderful, sweet young lady who is a great citizen and great in academics. She is in soccer, she's a volunteer at the elementary school, and she is in student council. Congratulations to Grace Krut. I have to say that Grace has had a brother and a sister that's been up here before also.
Yeah.
I'm left hanging. Unfortunately, my student is Nicholas Balaban. I will get that to him tomorrow, but he is new to Buckeye, and he's had such a positive impact. He had 2 teachers nominate him for Student of the Month. So we're glad to have Nicholas here, and I'll get this to him.
And the Buckeye Intermediate School Student of the Month is Jason Partee. Jason Partee is a 5th grader in Mrs. Vetrick's class. Jason is a very unique student, as a student that has been accelerated past 4th grade into 5th grade for this year. He's taken off with new challenges in amazing ways. Jason is a natural-born learner. With any subject that is being taught, he goes above and beyond to learn more about it. He continually strives to learn about the world around him and how it works. And he is continuing to grow with new peers. He opens others up to new ideas and his ways of thinking and working. He is a funny young man, and with a kind attitude and a brain that never stops thinking, Buckeye Intermediate School is very fortunate to have such a smart and wonderful student, Jason Partee.
We'd like to thank those folks for coming. We know that oftentimes our students have a lot of homework to do. So for those students of the month, you're certainly welcome. We'll take about a 30-second break. If you'd like to excuse yourself to your left, feel free. You're more than welcome to stay for the meeting. But if you'd like to excuse yourself, please feel free to do so at this time. You'll do your best? Or if you want me to do it? Okay. All right. Tonight our treasurer is ill and is not with us, so our superintendent is going to step in and pick up the slack, right? Yes, sir. Thank you. Under our treasurer's financial report, item A, resolve the Buckeye Board of Education accept the treasurer's report as presented, including all internal budgets, amended certificates, and appropriations to the county auditor as on file in the treasurer's office. B, payment approval. Resolve the Buckeye Board of Education approve the following payment to Britton Smith, Peters, and Kalale for $16,296.88 for current professional services. And also C, adopt a tax rate. Resolve the Buckeye Board of Education adopt a tax rate of 63.60 for the next fiscal year commencing July 1, 2015, as determined by the Budget Commission as followed, with general fund outside millage at 5170 for the first half and 5170 second half. Emergency levy outside millage 7.90 and 7.90 first and second half. General fund inside millage at 3.30 for both first and second half. Permanent improvement inside millage at 1.00 for first and second half. And bond retirement at 4.00 for first and second half.
Is there a motion to accept?
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the information that we did receive? Although it is not complete, I've been informed that we will get the remainder of our financials in short order. Nothing? No questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Barkle,
Yes.
Stahl,
Yes.
Petek,
Yes.
Mattson,
Yes.
Sisseton, yes.
Okay, so we're to Financial Advisory Committee.
This past month, we did not meet, we did not have a quorum, and so the meeting was moved to the first Monday of March, at 7 o'clock.
First Monday of March.
Yes,
And
I'm sorry, first Monday of April.
okay,
Yeah, I'm good.
all right. Public participation. The public is invited to speak to any of the agenda items and other school topics at this time. Comments should be limited to 3 minutes. Direct questions will not be answered by the Board of Education members at this time. However, answers will be given at a later date as appropriate. Does anyone have any public participation tonight? Yes, ma'am.
Do I go up or?
You can stand right there, you can talk from the seat if you want. We would like to know your name and your area of residence, if you would.
Okay, my name is Julie Brown, and I live in York Township. And I would just like to ask the school board, as coming from myself, and I know this affects other people in the community, that the Nexus Spectra is putting a pipeline through this community, and it is actually coming right through. If they do it, it's coming right through probably our front yard. And there are 2 issues with this. One being a safety issue, that this pipeline is coming through one of the most populated many of the most populated counties through Northeast Ohio, Medina being one of those. And so there's a grassroots coalition that is striving to reroute this pipeline into southern Ohio, where there could be a pipeline corridor that would be much safer than coming through all these populated areas. Our grassroots organization, coalition to reroute Nexus, right? That we are trying to get support from the elected officials, and we already have much of that support from York Township, Litchfield Township. Many from the county commissioners have all written recommendations and resolutions to FERC, which is the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, and that is the commission that grants private companies like Nexus the ability to use eminent domain to take our land, even if we don't want it. So FERC has this time of comment that they allow comments, and it is to FERC that we are asking that the school board write a resolution against Nexus putting this pipeline here, and to suggest that they reroute it. And I have information for you folks to look at. Can I just give that to you?
Yes, you can.
And if there's any questions, in that packet, Paul Jarosky, who is my neighbor across the road, his part is in there and can answer any questions that you probably have.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much. Thank you, Jim.
Anyone else?
Oh, all right, since nobody else is. Thanks, guys. Pam Francisco, Liverpool Township. I am going to, I guess, make my comment about the Gazette article and Mr. Vrabel and the staff member that was, had claims against him. I didn't know about it. I did hear rumors about it from my daughter, who is at the high school. I actually didn't even see the article until somebody else had spoken to me. As a parent, I'm very concerned. Some of the comments that were in that article, I didn't appreciate, I guess. The lack of concern, I guess, I was a little upset by. I just want you guys to know, you are our voice. You work for us. And I hope that you guys take this very seriously. I want to offer that staff member my full support. I can't imagine what she went through to come up and approach or even say anything to anyone about this. And that's about all. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Janelle Healy from Valley City. Same as Pam, I'm here as a concerned parent. I don't think that you realize, or maybe you do, the impact that this article has made on the students at Buckeye. Mr. Vrabel is now known as the creeper, the creepy guy. Stay away from him. When you see him in the hallway, go the opposite direction. That's not something I want my child exposed to. Not now, not ever. I realize that you may have issues in trying to justify what happened. We don't know what happened. Nobody here knows what happens. But before my daughter even entered high school, I heard many rumors about this man, many. And I was already concerned before she even entered. And then the front page news hit. Again, I did not know about this. But guess what? That Gazette was at the high school, and every single high school student read it. And every single high school student, especially the females, are concerned with their welfare. And I think you should consider that.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes.
My name's Ashley Morningstar, and I'm a teacher at the high school. Just following up on their comments, I just want to say how uncomfortable the work environment is now. Everyone's very uncomfortable, very hostile, nobody wants to leave their rooms, nobody wants to walk the hallway. And I think that is trickling down to the kids, because they see that we don't want to leave, we don't want to be out there, and that's just affecting them, and it's affecting me, because I can't be the happy-go-lucky teacher that I want to be, because I'm very uncomfortable. So.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, Rita Wolf, now also a teacher at the high school. Just want to make a comment that this isn't, I know you guys like paper trails and the documentation. It's not the first time something like this has happened. It's been swept underneath the rug, ignored, pushed aside. Staff in high school, we don't want that to happen again. It's getting bad. So just let you know.
Thank you. Anyone else? Thank you then. And superintendent's informational items.
Thank you. I have a number of informational items I'd like to share this evening. My first announcement is on Family First Night. For those of you that have been around for several years, obviously we know that Family First Night is something we've done for the last several years. It's a night to celebrate the family. It's scheduled for March 19th this year. We will be sending out information. There has been some information out there, but that will be held again on March 19th. I'd like to thank everybody who participated, particularly our staff who participated in Buckeye Day this past Saturday. I thought it was an extremely successful day. Our bands and choir and art, all of our staff and vendors that participated and had tables that day. It was an extremely successful day. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank those that were involved with that. Calamity Day update. There was recently an article in the paper, and I'd just like to follow up on that. We are sitting right now at 5 calamity days as a school district. Per our calendar, we will not make up the first 5 days of calamity, so we don't have any to make up at this point, and certainly we're hopeful that we don't have any more ahead of us. But per our calendar, if we do have any more days, we would start by adding half hour to our days to start making up. Those would be days 6 and 7. Day 6 and 7, day 7 and 8 would be, or 8 and 9 would be blizzard bags, and day 10 would be a day added to the end of the school year. So I just wanted to clarify that where we're currently at. I was asked with the conversion to hours, how come our school district does not just forgive or forego those calamity days. And there was a lot of discussion about that, and I think that, I think and hope most people in this room would agree that the education of our kids is too important not to make up days. So we have the first 5 that we will forgive, and then after that we'll make them up because our students need to be in class and we need to make those days up. Just an announcement again, it's spring break is March 30th through April 7th. And I'd like to welcome everybody to come to our spring musical coming up this upcoming weekend. I know it's quickly selling out, so hopefully, I believe there are some tickets left, but they'll be performing Shrek. And from the brief snippet that I got to see at Buckeye Day, it's going to be a wonderful performance by our students. I want to thank those staff members that are involved with that performance. They always do a wonderful job. So those are my informational items.
Thank you. You want to go ahead and read your superintendent's recommendation?
Yes, please. My first item is a supplemental contract. It is for Monica Bagley, who is a registered nurse who will accompany our 8th graders on the Washington, D.C. trip and work within that capacity. We want to thank her for her willingness to volunteer to accompany those students, and with your approval, we can allow her to do that. That Washington, D.C. trip is May 6th through 8th. I would ask for your approval to allow us to go out for bids for HVAC work at the high school. We did complete quite a bit of work last year, and we hope to continue with that project this year. That would continue to work on the HVAC, hopefully providing a more comfortable environment at our high school for our staff and our students. Also would be looking at controls to add to our system through this phase of the project, which would allow us more control to control temperatures within all of our classrooms and common areas. So with your approval, we can go out and start to advertise for those bids for that HVAC work. Also, I would ask for you to allow us to go out for bids for snow removal. We do this every 3 years. Our current provider has done just an amazing job, especially with the difficult winter that we've had this year. They're here early, they get our parking lots cleared and salted, but we would like to go out to advertise for those bids again so we can renew that contract or find the best bid for us through that process. We've had some conversation in the past. The Medina County Waste District has a new process for recycling. They have asked for various locations throughout the county to place recycling bins. They have approached us to place a bin on our property. Not only is the fact that we want to be good stewards in our county, we also think there can be great value for our students in teaching them about recycling, how important that is, how to recycle, and having a bin right here on our property may help to drive that point home a little bit. Not to mention that for our 3 counties, our campus becomes a hub of activity, and many of our families visit our campus quite frequently, which may make it convenient for them to drop off recyclables. So with your approval, we can enter into an agreement with them to place a bin on our property. And then lastly, I have a recommendation to resolve the legal services of Smith, Peters, and Kalale. And just to explain, we have traditionally used Britton, Smith, Peters, and Kalale as a legal firm. Mr. Britton has left that firm to join a new firm. So I'm asking you to approve the previous firm because they are technically a new firm without Mr. Britton. So with your approval, we can continue to use them, which we do use them for various services from time to time.
And so we're getting the vote motion. Okay. Any motion to cover the superintendent's recommendations to this point?
I had a quick question on the bins. Do we get any compensation for that?
There's no compensation from that, and we had some conversation with the county about that. And what they've tried to do is create a situation where it is the most economical, cost-effective for the county, and so there's no sharing with that. They've got entered into a fairly inexpensive contract with the provider, and their services will be paid for by recycling the items that they take in the bin.
Okay, thank you.
I just had another question. We're not entering into a contract with them. I mean, if at any point it becomes an issue, we can say, take the bin off the property.
Yes. Now, we will enter into an agreement with them, but within that agreement, it gives us the right to take that bin away with a 30-day notice at any time we want. Yes.
Okay. That's what makes sense.
Entertain a motion to accept the recommendation so far?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Mattson? Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Siselic, yes. Mattson?
Yes.
Petek?
Yes.
Stahl?
Yes.
Barco?
Yes. Okay, F.
Yeah, F then is a follow-up to that last item previously. The new firm that Mr. Britton is with is Ennis Britton Company, and with your approval, then we can continue to use Mr. Britton and his new company.
there a motion to accept?
Motion.
I'll second.
Okay. Any other discussion? What this does is it allows the superintendent to go out and contact those legal firms that he needs. We do have multiple legal firms. They are normally used for specific reasons. One firm will be used for special ed, another one will be for personnel issues, another one will be for negotiations maybe, whatever. There's different reasons for all the legal firms, but this is allowing him to contact those firms when he needs them. Okay, roll call.
Stahl?
Yes.
Barco?
Yes.
Sisalik? Yes. Mattson?
Yes.
Petek?
Yes.
My next item, we may want to have some conversation. We've had a committee that has looked at the need for potential renovations to our football facility, and part of the recommendation from that committee was to add some enhancements or some renovations to that facility. So as a result of that recommendation, we have put out a request for qualifications from several architectural firms to work with our district. And I would ask I have two listed on here because we had two return our request for qualifications. And
If you don't mind, I'd like to discuss those two, and then we'll proceed with voting from that point. I read through both of these. I think, did everybody have an opportunity to read through all of the proposals that, they're statement of qualifications, they're not proposals, they're statements of qualifications. I do feel as though both firms are well qualified to do what we're looking for. I believe that the MS consultants, if we were building a complete school, might be one that I would be more inclined to go with at this point. But I think Glenn Ramage is a firm that I think could do the job very well. Any other comments?
Can you tell us what they have, we've had past history with them, what they've done for our campus?
well, they are working currently with us on the HAC program that we're working on right now. They've also consulted with us on our driveways and parking lots. So they've done quite a few of them. We've been very pleased with their help and support of us to this point.
This is, and again, I'm sure they've done a good job. This is nothing negative to them, but it seems like, especially looking at their qualifications, I felt MS was more qualified because they have more experience, plus the fact that they would provide more support as far as personnel. I mean, it looked like they had a team lined up to help us out. And the other, Ramage, again, it's, just based on this proposal, I don't know much about their company, I've never met any of these folks, but it's not a parking lot and it's not HVAC. I look at the experience of building facilities, because this would be, we're not just, painting and covering up or anything. We're going to be building structures, and I felt MS was more qualified.
I think when you look at the proposals, there's a lot more information in this proposal on relevant projects that are like this. And just so the public knows, this is, and correct me if I'm wrong, this is a firm that we would hire to help us through this process. So we still would have to go out and get bids and everything like that. So this is the company that basically looks for ways that we can do this economically and save money and bring the committee's vision and the school's vision together. And I just agree with Tom. When I look at it, it's not really close as far as the team that MS brings to the table. It's nothing against the other firm. They're just a smaller firm, and MS seems to have a lot of experience in doing the exact thing that we're looking at. So that's that's the one that I was looking at as well. I'm not to say either one can't do the job, but
I mean, if you got something to add that would convince us that Ramage is,
Yeah, all I can bring is the experience that we've had. We've not had experience with the others. We have had some conversation with other schools, and the feedback from both has been positive. They've both done other projects and have had positive feedback on both, so.
Ken, I actually called references on both of them.
okay.
And MS is a much bigger firm, like John points out. They do very large projects. They do universities, they do $3.5 million stadium renovations for Youngstown School District. They like the big projects. Have good references, they do nice work. Ramage was a lot of local schools. They were able to craft the design work and the architectural work to work around the school's budget, because a lot of schools can't do a $2 million project. They have to do a $300,000 project this year, and they tie it into the larger project, the bigger scope. They have a lot of references from schools within a 30-mile radius of us. That's their value, because there's a lot of local education in that. So they both have good references, though.
I wanted to, I like the MS, I like the bigger corporation. Once again, I like the fact that they had a huge team that they were going to provide for us. The one thing that I really liked was that they were a green company. They specifically talked about green products and what they would bring to our campus, which I think would be a really good thing, especially if we're talking about turf and everything like that. We want to really be careful what we're getting. We want it to be environmentally good for the community.
Okay. So, any more discussion? All right, so now we're at the point of putting a motion on the floor that we can vote on. We are currently at G, which is approval to award a contract to architectural services. Resolved that the Buckeye Board of Education enter into an agreement with Glenn D. Ramage, Architect Incorporated, for possible renovations of the Steingas Athletic Complex. Is there a motion to that effect?
I'll make a motion.
And is there a second to that effect? Hearing none, that dies for lack of a second. We'll go on to H.
Sure. H would be resolved that the Buckeye Board of Education entered an agreement with MS Consultants Incorporated for possible renovations to the Steingas Athletic Complex.
Is there a motion to that effect?
motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Petek,
Yes.
Stahl,
Yes.
Barco,
Yes.
Siselic, yes, Mattson.
No.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you. I'd like to ask for your approval for the 2015-16 school calendar that has been posted to our website for the past 30 days, as is required by law. And with your approval, we can make that official this evening, and we'll keep it posted on the website, but it'll become an official and not a draft. So I'd ask for your approval of 15-16 school calendar.
Do we have a motion on the calendar?
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? The 15-16 calendar follows the 14-15 calendar very closely.
Very closely.
Very closely, and it includes the same makeup type
Yes.
for calamity days. Okay, any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Siselic, yes, Mattson,
Yes.
Petek,
Yes.
Stahl,
Yes.
Barco.
Yes. Personnel.
Thank you. My first certified personnel item is a request for a maternity leave by Sybil Peltuti, high school teacher, effective approximately April 15th and 2015 for a period of 6 to 8 weeks. We'd like to say congratulations to her on that. Also, I would bring to you another request for maternity leave from Natalie Berthold, primary school teacher, for approximately April 7th for the remainder of the 14-15 school year. And again, congratulations. I have a child care leave of absence request from Ms. Crystal Jones, who is a high school teacher for the entire 15-16 school year. I bring you number 4, a resignation of Ms. Esther Kaczynski, primary teacher, effective May 31st for purposes of retirement. And obviously, congratulations to her after a wonderful career in our school district that has touched the lives of many, many students. And we wish her the very best of luck in her retirement. As well, Ms. Denise Sturr, intermediate teacher, again, for purposes of retirement. She's asking for you to accept her resignation. And once again, we wish her the best of luck in her retirement. And know that she will enjoy herself, and the legacy that she leaves here is something to be cherished by our students and our staff. Under classified personnel, I have new continuing contracts to bring you that I would recommend. Ms. Jessie Speck has completed her probationary period and would begin a new continuing contract effective March 10th. Joanne Fike, again, would begin her new continuing contract January 30th after a successful probationary period. And Ms. Yvonne Inman, also a continuing contract effective March 12th as a result of her successful probationary period. I bring you an employment on number 2 under B. Megan Maloney Craig was the successful candidate after several rounds of interviews for high school cook. Her position began March 9th. She will work approximately 3 hours per day. And then I have 2 classified substitutes, Greg Manning as a cleaner laborer and Beverly Troyan as a bus driver.
And entertain a motion on the personnel items.
Motion.
Oh, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion? Congratulations to those who have made it to retirement, and hopefully have a fine retirement. Roll call, please.
Titek.
Yes.
Stahl.
Yes.
Arco.
Yes.
Siselic, yes. Mattson.
Yes.
And now we're down to board comments. I'd like to start off. This board is very concerned and is taking the matters that are before it very seriously. I'd like to ask all employees to report any issues that you see anywhere in our district that make you uncomfortable, that you feel is inappropriate. Report them to Mr. Williams. And for those individuals that are concerned at this point, I will tell you, I do believe that we have a good staff, a great staff in this district. We have, our entire staff is keenly aware of the situation now, and will be watching for situations in the future. And I'm asking that staff come forward if they feel as though something is inappropriate and report it. Thank you. Mr. Batson?
I do. Thank you, Mr. Marco. On another note, a lighter note, spring sports are into full gear right now. Consolidated Boosters will be having their night at the races this Saturday night. If anybody needs tickets, see any coach in the building, and they've got tickets available. It's a good time, and it's good for the district, good for the kids. We also have next Saturday Spring in the Swing for baseball, and they also have a Chipotle fundraiser coming up. What night, Coach? Monday night. Chipotle in midnight. Anybody goes for Chipotle, mention that you're there for Buckeye, and Buckeye baseball kids get something back from that.
There's also on the 24th for track. For Chipotle also.
There's coming up for softball too.
You'll have to make playing Chipotle indoor.
Once a week.
One of the big common themes is lots of fundraising for kids in the district. But spring sports are good. It's nice to see that it's warmed up. Kids are running around the building, track, field are out there. Baseball is running, softball is running. Ken mentioned about we got great teachers here and great staff. We got great kids too. And, you know, we come out here at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you'll see 75, 100, 150 kids out running, playing, enjoying being part of Buckeye. And Buckeye is still a good place to be. That's all I have.
Thank you all for coming. We appreciate all the support. We fully are aware of who put us here. We speak for you. We want to make sure, following what Mr. Barco said, please let us know. If we don't know, there's absolutely nothing we can do. So please contact us. Thank you.
Just want to reiterate what Kim said as well. Pam, you know, I know you guys, and I don't know the teachers personally, but we are the Board of Education. You know, part of our job is to be your voice. So I would highly encourage everyone to report anything that they may need to report. Thank you.
Well, first, congratulations to our 2 teachers that are retiring. Wish you guys the best for retirement. Those of you guys that spoke, I know it's scary to get up and speak in front of a crowd and say what's on your mind, so I admire you for that. And just so you know, I mean, we do take everything you tell us seriously, and we encourage you guys. Report anything, even if it makes you feel a little uncomfortable. Report it. That's what Kim said. If we don't know about it, we can't act on it. So just want to encourage you guys to do that. And I do appreciate you guys coming out and supporting each other. So thank you.
Okay, and now we're going to the motion to adjourn. Does anyone want to make a motion to adjourn?
We're staying home.
We're going to?
Okay. Motion.
We have a motion, Mr. Stahl. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Stahl?
Yes.
Mrs. Seller? Yes. Mattson?
Yes.
P-TEC?
Yes.
Barco?
Yes. So,
Thank you.
thank you very much for coming.